Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here. Today, we're talking about hitters' reactions after striking out when they come back to the dugout. I've played with so many players. Everyone has a little bit of a different reaction, a little bit of different personality, but we're going to talk about that today. Before we do, today's video is sponsored by Rocket Sports. Rocket makes top quality baseball equipment. We use a lot of their stuff with our Antonelli baseball teams. Go and check them out. Go to the description box below. Click the link. It's going to take you over to their site. You're going to be able to get 15% off of your first Rocket order. So go and check that out. Okay, so I've played with a ton of different players. And when guys strike out, everyone's going to have a little different reaction when they get back to the dugout. But I've kind of classified everyone into kind of four groups. And we're going to go over those four groups. And I want you to let me know in the comment section below, which group would you fall in as a player? 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay? So let's start with number 1. The number 1 guy, they strike out, they come back to the dugout, and they're the "this guy sucks" group, okay? And so they come back, they just struck out, they might have looked like an absolute idiot, and they walk in the dugout, and the first person they see, they usually sit down next to somebody and they go, "Man, this guy sucks. He's got nothing to get me out. Next at bat, I'm hitting a homer off this dude. I'm taking him deep," right? And I'd always be sitting there, and I'd be like, he just made you look stupid. How can you come back here and say that this guy sucks after you just chased 3 balls in the dirt, right? And so I would think that, but I'd also think man, I wish I had that confidence to come back here after striking out and say that guy sucks and I'm going to take him deep. Okay, and I will say I've had that once or twice during my career. Right, you strike out, you're just like, how did I strike out this? This guy's terrible. I'm gonna kill this guy. I have had that before. But there's a group of players that no matter who they strike out against, they say this guy sucks. Like the guy could be throwing 104 with a filthy 92-mile-an-hour slider, and they're still gonna come back and say this guy sucks. I'm gonna get him next time. I'm taking him deep. Right, and I was always jealous of those guys because I want that type of confidence. Okay. So that's kind of the first guy. If you're number 1 guy, put in the comment section below. Number 2 guy is the "I suck" guy. Okay, I fell into this probably too often. I wish I didn't. But I'd strike out and I'd come down, I'd sit in the bench, I'd be like, "Jeez, I suck. Why can't I hit? Why am I so bad at this freaking sport? Why did I choose this sport? Why didn't I play football or hockey?" Right? And so I had a lot of those where I came back. Again, every now and then I'd say that he sucks, but more often than not, I would say, "I'm terrible." And I'd get really depressed on the bench. And I'd just be like, I don't know why I chose a sport where I feel this way every single time I get out. Okay? And so that's number 2. Okay? So if you're the number 2, if you're group number 2 and you're the "I suck" guy, put that in the comment section below. Okay? The number 3 grouping of players is just the crazy psychotic guy, okay? It's the guy that comes back after striking out and just goes bananas and has got to smash a helmet. He's got to take a bat and hit something. He's got to punch a water cooler. He just has to do he has to do something. I've played with a lot of these guys. And this was definitely not me. I never came back and punched or kicked or threw or whacked at anything. I'd get mad, usually at myself, but I would never break anything or throw anything. But I've had a bunch of players that did this. Actually, my first one that I actually was probably the most scared of is I remember I got called up to low A ball with the Padres, and Will Venable, who ended up being one of my buddies, is super, one of the nicest guys of all time, just a great guy. And I remember it might have been my first game. Will came back and he was really pissed. He'd get kind of mad sometimes, and I remember he was an outfielder and he grabbed his outfield glove, and I remember before he went out in the field, he was biting on the glove and he was trying to take a chunk out of the glove. He was so upset. And I think he didn't want to break anything, which I've seen him break some things. Actually, in low A, they had this like bike. It was like this old crappy bike, and they had it in like the corner of the shower in the clubhouse, and they had a bat in there, so you could, when you got really mad, you could go back there with a bat and you could beat the ever-living hell out of this bike. I'm sure he went back there a few times, but this time he grabbed his glove, and I remember watching him. Like, I'm sitting on the bench. I wasn't playing at this point. I got called up, and I didn't really play a whole lot. I'm looking over, and he's over there like biting his glove, and I was like, I didn't know him at this point. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with this guy over here? And like, he kept doing it, and then like the inning ended, and he ran out to the field, like didn't run out like this, ran out with the glove in his mouth, biting it. And I was like, okay, all right, I'm scared. But then he ended up being a great guy. He just didn't like this. He didn't like to strike out. He was a very competitive player. He was a great athlete. Played for a long time in the major leagues. Now he's the first base coach for the Chicago Cubs. Was a great basketball player at Princeton. Obviously a smart kid. So, anyways, so there's the number 3 is the guy that just gets really angry, like just super angry, and needs to break something, punch something, bite his glove, something like that. So if you're number 3, put it in the comment section below. Okay, number 4 is, this will be the last one, is just like the even-keeled guy, okay? The happy-go-lucky, good at bat, bad at bat, doesn't matter. Strikes out, comes back to the bench, puts his helmet away and his bat away, and sits down and says, I'm going to get him next time. Like, doesn't go up, doesn't go down. He's not riding the roller coaster of emotions throughout the year. He's just right here. He's just even keel. He just plays the game, right? And so he's not mad. He doesn't think that you stink or I stink, or he doesn't break anything. He's just playing the game, and he's just a happy guy. And he's going to go out there and he's going to go up there next at bat. And if he strikes out again, he'll probably come back and do the same thing, because he's got 600 at bats in a season. He doesn't let one at bat affect the next. And that's probably where a lot of people kind of wish they could be, where they would play. Baseball would be a lot more fun if you could be that guy. I was that guy at some points. People actually would probably maybe classify me as a number 4 guy, but I don't think I really was. I was there sometimes, but I was more of the number 2, like, I suck guy. I just kind of kept it in. I didn't go crazy with it. I'm just thinking in my head, like, God, I suck. So that's number 4. Okay, so put in the comment section if you're number 4. So those are the 4 guys we got. If you know other guys, I mean, I'm sure I've seen a bunch of stuff, and so I guess we could continue to go on. But I'm going to kind of group everyone in these 4 big groups, okay? So put in the comment section below, are you group 1, group 2, group 3, or group 4? Are you suck, I'll hit a homer, I suck. Are you crazy person, or are you even keel? I'll get them next time, no big deal. I'm just loving life and playing a game for a living, so I'm getting paid to do it. So that's all I got today. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. All that good stuff. Check out our other videos. I've made thousands of them. We'll talk to you later.